Hello, Chicago White Sox fans. My name is Brett Ballantini, hosting Mothership Podcast 206. But really, when you think about it, it's just the second one when it comes to re-meeting the players. You've become refamiliarized with Ashley Sanders recently, and now I'm going to force you to get reacclimated with the multimedia attack that is Billick. You have returned, and I am pleased.
I'm here and I'm glad you're forcing me onto people because that's what I like to do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we were supposed to record this yesterday. So let me just get my
Mhm.
points out of the way that were the most
Ooh,
important. Point
awesome.
number one, happy Jackie Robinson Day.
Yeah.
Point number two, happy Wednesday. What a great Wednesday it's been today. That's all.
Yeah. It's been awesome. Yes, this is the extended version of podcast 205, starring Ashley Sanders, and then because of some sort of technical difficulties having to do with the absolute incompetence of the host, part two is, of course, Billick. Oh yeah, bring it on. We can just make commercial announcements during the course of this hour or so podcast where you just dig in
Perfect.
on the failure of the host. No problem at
No,
all.
no. I mean, technology we're in an abysmal place. Who are we even giving money to anymore? Do you know who's in your phone right now?
That's,
I
I
don't.
mean, A, entirely another podcast, but B, yeah, not something I want to search on because I'm not, it's sweet that you're saying technical difficulties. No, I'm just an idiot. I mean, I'm
No,
not even gonna blame technology. I just don't know how to
it's
do these things.
it's not your fault that your
Okay.
Neuralink went offline.
Yeah, right. I'm just in the habit of snapping it off and then I forget to turn it back on. To those of you who may not be aware, and let's face it, you're all aware. If you listen to this, come on, you're in with the diabetic scene. Come on. August 28th, 2021. That was Diabetic Day. If those of you who are fond of theme days, it was Diabetic Day. Coverage, podcasts, meet the players, etc. Her debut with South Side Sox, podcast number 62,
Whoa.
150 or so ago. Meet Billick, who hates the Cubs. Obviously, we covered all the important topics in that podcast, basically hating the Cubs, of which there's Kismet right there. Let's face it. Actor, comedian, writer, expired model. I've got to throw something in here. I don't know if the bio's been updated. I haven't been linked in stalking, but
Mhm.
chef. I mean, all I see is you coming up with awesome concoctions of food and et cetera, whether it's for football circumstances or iced creamery, or I mean, and then the kitchen I mean, I don't know if that project ever finished or started,
It
but
did.
kitchen
If
okay.
if there weren't like hot flashes going on right now because of perimenopause, I would show you the kitchen is so nice that I thought for a second I was like, I choose the wrong career. This is unbelievable. And I'm going to be honest with you too.
Okay.
I am very close to submitting to Better Homes and Gardens. I'm close. I'm serious. We're
Okay.
close. I did I spend too much money on a piece of quartz from Brazil? Yes.
I,
It's gorgeous. Every day I look at it and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So it's
yeah.
it's conducive to cooking. Something else I've been doing lately. I
Okay.
this is new. I'm working on a secret expose that
Okay.
I can't talk about, but it's
Okay.
like,
Great.
but I can't talk about the details as far as what I've been doing.
Okay.
So I'm like a Reddit mod. I'm not a real life Reddit mod. I'm like a Reddit
Okay.
mod. Like that's how
Okay.
big of a loser I am. I have to
Oh.
lurk in this subreddit to
Mhm.
get like the down low about these people, which I'm
Oh.
gonna I think I'm publishing it on Medium. I will let
Okay.
you know when it comes out, but it's you can call me Spy Billick.
Okay, Spy Billick. All right. I'm
Mhm.
always trying to come up with nicknames. I don't think anything ever really stuck with you. So yeah, let's go with Spy Billick for now. I was going to announce an exciting podcast 207, which would be tour of Billick's kitchen, but we really have to hold that for Better Homes and Gardens. I understand that we do not, I have no sway there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's, 100 more, or, you're meet the players in another 5 or 6 years will be the Kinshore. By then there will be duct tape or masking tape indicating what needs to be changed since this latest. So,
I am
all right,
never
we'll let.
leaving. I'm never changing a thing. And you know what? I mean, we live on the beach, and I always say when I die, just bury me in the sand. I don't even care.
Okay.
Just dig a shallow hole, just throw me in there. I'm not going anywhere.
uh 2 a.m. clandestine soft
Viking
part of the
funeral.
beach. Right. Yeah, okay. Um
So I'll tell you why I
yeah.
left, so you don't have to ask that question.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was actually question number 2 for the second half of the podcast. So yeah, go ahead, take it over,
Oh,
Di.
then you know what? We can
Why?
leave it.
Okay,
We
all
can
right,
leave
yeah. It
it.
was a teaser
Yeah.
for those who just like to listen to 20 minutes of absurdity.
It's
Wait for minute
coming.
40. It's going to be awesome. Well, and this could tie in to that answer. I mean, let's face it, we're talking about only one subject, and it is the Chicago White Sox, and we're trying to delicately avoid it as we are hopping on. As much as we tried to overlay not having to pay attention to any games, both yesterday and today, Di, we have managed to isolate games from podcasts to the point where we're now aware that we are a 6-13 team. That's a 51 and 111 pace. For those of you who do math worse than me, this team hits at a minus 1.4 WAR going into today. That will be on pace to blow away the worst AL WAR offense in history, which, by the way, was the 2024 Chicago White Sox. So things
Yeah.
haven't changed much. Welcome back, Di. My question is, okay, uh, remodels,
hmm
pitching Better Homes and Garden,
hmm
um, different temperature levels.
hmm
Um, um, beach burial plans, but of course we're not supposed to publicize those, but it'll be a different beach.
Illegal
Yeah.
beach burial.
Yeah, right. Remains, etc. But hey, what you been up to? Give purpose to your sabbatical, because we need to know
Well,
what's been
geez.
happening.
Uh, okay. White Sox related, what's been happening? I got a new White Sox shirt. It's cool. The other thing is
The
when my
highlight of
friends got
2026.
that's the best thing that's happened.
Yeah.
Something that's annoying. My friends like caught wind. I don't know. I didn't realize that a lot of my friends read my articles. A lot of times they just have to deal with me all the
Hmm.
time, and then they're like, "Yeah, it's whatever." They read my articles. That's really nice. They've taken to sending me horrendous texts of our reality. My dad. I wish I could. That's my phone right there. I'm like, "Where's my
Okay.
phone?" That's my day. That's my brand now. He sent me an image of everyone's batting average. I'm like, why are you doing this to me? I know. Do you
Yeah.
think I don't know? I don't
Yeah.
know though. It still feels better than 2025. There was such a the year off baseball that I took. So I watched no games. I watched part
Okay.
of the All-Star game. I watched
Okay.
like kind of like bits and pieces of some games. Pardon me, an old person died. I live in Edgewater. It's a neighborhood of olds. I shouldn't. We're cutting all of this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because you know how meticulously I edit. So yes, absolutely.
That's what I have to do for auditions, and it never fails. I was gonna make an old person every old person dies in this building. I live in a vintage building joke, but like one of my good older friends just died
Oh,
last week, and we used
yeah.
to talk sports all the time. But yeah, no, that's I live in a retirement home.
And keep in
Uh,
mind, Di, you're talking about burying yourself on the beach. So,
Hmm.
it's
Hey,
closer than you may think.
I'm getting sensitive. The okay, what was I saying? I was saying oh, the vibes were disgusting. And
Mhm.
I don't know. There was this difference. I swear I don't know why it feels better this year. It might be the news of the like eventual very long from now ownership transfer. It may be Clevenger being gone. Sorry if I said his name. It's like Voldemort,
Hmm.
whatever.
Right,
He who shall not be mm, even thought about, I guess.
right.
Unfortunate.
I'll just put bracket descriptions like this is a script, like these are stage directions. Di shuts the window to the high rise.
And now turns on her emotional support fan.
Support fan, sure, sure.
Okay. So yes, everyone's been reminding me of how bad the White Sox are again. It does feel different though. It feels different because of those things I just mentioned, but also because I feel like there are a few people on the team that are starting to, I guess, pique my interest with the way they're playing, their potential. And like we can talk about potential all day and you can mention people who we thought were going to be great and then,
Yeah.
we're not. I mean, there's a lot of those in every team, but yeah, I'm slightly excited. I am. I admit it. And you know what? Yeah, we're on pace to be horrible, but I don't know. It's going to be bearable with
Mm.
like comparing it to just the whole like the end of 2024. I mean, that was abysmal.
Yeah.
Do you feel any different?
Yeah, no, I was going to point out your glass is even a little more full than mine, but nobody went into this season thinking it was going to be, of course, not a step back, but even modest gains. I don't think among our staff predictions, anyone was cooler on the team than I don't know. Maybe we had a 6-win improvement. I had a 9-win improvement. Most were past 10. Had a couple just absolute oddball choices of getting close to 500, which I mean, that was after a night of drinking, I'm sure. But the I mean, there's no way not to think that even whether it's snail's pace or not, or slower pace or not, that this team wouldn't be better, be more competitive. The division seems pretty awful. So that can only help. Not that it's a super weighted schedule, but you get to play the Twins 15 or 18 or whatever times. Of
The
course, that's
cards are
first place Twins now, so go figure. But I mean, I guess we're the only teams crashed back to earth, anyhow. But okay, so my question then is what the vagarity of vibe aside, what was it just, I mean, you're a fan since birth. You
oh yeah.
have a constant relationship with, at the very least, your father regarding the game. So you have a running partner with this torture or occasionally joy, but this torture. So there's that. You both stepped away. Um, what is it, the ownership possibility? Is it any one player? Because there isn't, to me, there's no like movement out there I can see in the clouds that says, okay, now I see the change. Generally, we know, in spite of the start to the season, we know things are going to be better and they're fielding barely closer to a major league team now than they were in the past couple years, 3 years. But is there one, or was it just, okay, years up, my self-imposed exile is done from the Sox. I can I can warm up to it a little bit and then at least see if it horrifies me enough to have to run away again. Was there something you can latch onto that says, all right, this is what changed it?
Yes, a few things. Thing number one, I stepped away because I was feeling those things, but I also wanted to finish my third novel, and I was doing a lot of work on that. I've done way more projects than I thought I was going to in that time. So it actually turned out I was so much more productive. And I'm kind of addicted to productivity, as overachievers are. Um, so that part of it was I needed more time. Doing game coverage is fun.
Mhm.
Something crazy that I learned is I came into this writing fiction and I'm like a comedy writer. I write TV, I write TV commercials. I had no journalistic anything. And it was kind of something I always wanted to do. You are an amazing mentor. As I'm writing this expose that I'm, no, you really are. You absolutely are. You taught me so much stuff. I I am so grateful for that. But as I'm writing this expose that's not about baseball. Like I
Mhm.
know what's wrong with my with my journalistic foibles for sure. Writing for a horrible White Sox team, I'm like, I'm reading what I wrote in this other completely different world, and I'm like, holy shit, I got really
Mhm.
good at like, you know, getting to the point and breadcrumbing people and making someone interested in this ridiculous thing I'm writing about. So
Mhm.
like that year off was for I guess enrichment purposes to get stuff done and because I wanted to kill myself every time I watched a game for sure. There was just uh
Yeah.
maybe TMI, but if you grow up with domestic abuse from a parent, which I did, and it wasn't my dad, I'm not gonna say who
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah. Hmm.
but like who could it be?
Yeah.
When you grow up with that and you're invalidated forever and ever, and then like
Mhm.
Mike Clevenger like fucking spits tobacco on his baby, and they're like,
Mhm.
meh, no big deal. It's just like it invalidates like all of your personal growth, all of your healing, all of the
Yeah.
stuff you've done. Like, and I guess not you as in you or me, but like I I'm very healed. I haven't spoken to my parent in forever, like forever ever. And I've done a lot of work and I can talk about it and it's fine. But like a lot of people don't have that luxury. They have
Yeah.
guilt trips. They have like they're cut off from the rest of their family if they cut off from the
Yeah.
person that's
Yeah.
hurting them. And it's like,
Yeah.
this is an organization that can, with a straight face, like, I couldn't do it. Something broke in me. I was just like,
Mhm.
this is a slap in the face to
Yes.
absolutely everyone for
Yes.
different reasons. And something broke in me and I knew I would be back.
Mhm.
And I mean, like the year was great. I think I just feel really refreshed. And also, number two, like seeing new faces is great. I am having a great time looking at them, not their faces specifically, but seeing new players, it reminds me of like the big turnover in the 2000s, where
Mhm.
like Aaron Rowan was new and Joe Creedy came in and like just everyone just came in and came together. Am I saying that's gonna happen? No, of course I'm not.
Yeah.
But I haven't felt that like, ooh, new blood feeling in a while. Uh Antonacci, he like blew it and he was what over 3 today, but like he had a good game yesterday. Like nerves are a thing.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, I mean, he's
Murakami is fun to watch, and
mhm.
there's a lot of new people that I'm interested in, and it's fun to watch them play. That's been reinvigorating, and I'm not um delusional enough to think that like this team's gonna be great, but
Right.
I don't know. One of the things that I got used to being a White Sox fan for life is if we have a winning season or a winning-ish season, there was a road to get there. And I watched it all the time, constantly. Like we
Mhm.
all watched that road to get there, and it was kind of painful. Not ever as painful as this.
Right.
Although my dad would argue with me. and I forget which year he says was the worst, but he was he's quit baseball one other time.
Oh,
And we did it together this time. And it
mhm.
was nice because I like fully committed to football and that was really fun. It was great to watch other teams. I can't do that with baseball. Like that's all I would do
Yeah,
all day long. I mean, it's impossible.
yeah.
But yeah, it's it's a little bit of everything. It's the confidence of knowing that I got a lot done, my year off, it's seeing the new people, and it's like, here we go again, kind of, but also I do feel a little bit healed because, Clevenger's gone. I mean, I am not the only person who is sensitive about that for sure.
No, and it becomes borderline insulting when you have fans pushing back on the reaction to it, i.e., you're making too big a deal, or this person might not even be in the majors this year, so why does it matter? Or not going to be a factor. I mean, it's really, really far from the point. And I'm guessing as difficult, well, let's face it, you did stick through it through more than one season of bringing this person in.
Mhm.
By the time it happens for the third time, by the time you're still hearing things about, well, we appreciate the leadership, or whatever hogwash they're trying to spin, it does start to layer. It's not like you can wash in December and say, oh, okay, I'll come back fresh. And if they start to pull this crap again, fine, it'll just build up on me again and I'll try to scrub. Yeah, at some point, I imagine it does get to be far too heavy and you have to look in the mirror and say, well, why am I doing this? This is just in some form hurting me, as odd as it may seem that like a sport or watching a team can do that. Well, how can't it be the same with a movie or listening to a song or many other things? So
Mhm.
yeah, I can't fathom that you are close to the only person. And I imagine there are other people who had much shorter fuses with it because they have to, or they should. You know,
Yeah,
none of
yeah.
us were none of us were pleased.
Hmm.
Um, You don't want to have to be publishing articles saying, here's why we're going to do what we're going to do. Here's why we're avoiding this. Who wants it? The stupid side discussions about, oh, that's dumb. You guys are being, idiots with that attitude or whatever. That aside, who cares about that? It's just who wants to be wasting energy on
Yeah.
scolding a team,
Yeah.
trying to support your fellow fans
Hmm.
through this.
Yep.
This isn't like a loss. Oh yeah, it struck out to end the game. Okay, fine, that's the game. This other
Hmm.
stuff, uh,
It's too heavy and it's too deep. And I'm a person who like
for those of you listening or watching, we have a diabillic freeze. We'll blame it on the fog rolling in, but providing she comes back to us, we'll continue this. Otherwise, we will make this our commercial break time. It could very well be commercial break time. So I'm going to
not
send. Oh, she's back. Okay, no commercial break. We are fending it off. We lost you for about 20 seconds there, Di. So rewind to the salient point you were making.
Oh no, I got cut off. Oh
Yes, you
man,
did. You froze.
I just said
The
the most
fog. We blamed it
epic.
on the fog.
I cannot repeat.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, forget it. It's
I
law. It's a cutting room
was
floor.
I was saying that I don't I was never interested in being like, hey, you guys should feel like this about this. You should be mad about this. I was
Right.
saying that imagine how easy life would be for someone who's like, oh, that's not a big deal. I don't really like he didn't really
Yeah.
like good for them. Good for them. I don't want them
Yeah.
to know. I don't want them
Hmm.
to know what him being on
Yeah.
the team did to people. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you
Yeah.
never had to go through that. That's awesome. I'm not trying to change their mind. I'm not trying to be like, you should hate this guy that I hate. And
Yeah.
it's like, people have different principles. Those people are lucky. Those same people probably have it really bad in other areas. Like, I don't
Yeah.
judge people's like inability to cope with things. So I'm not going to be judged for my refusal to cope with a thing that
Sure.
I don't even have to do. And the thing is, too,
Yeah.
like, we didn't have to fucking watch baseball. Like, we don't have to watch a baseball team. We don't have to write on. We don't have to do the
Yeah.
stuff that we do.
Yeah.
choice. So if that choice begins to disturb my peace when I'm trying to have a creative mind and sit down and torture myself for 8 hours a day as a writer,
Yeah.
writing other things that live inside
Yeah.
of me, like why would I want to dedicate a ton of time and energy, like even on like honestly, the dumbest articles that I write, the biggest nonsense that's stupid, like those are the ones I work the hardest on because I feel like they're the most important. It should be fun to watch baseball. And if you're feeling like shit about it, I better
Hmm.
make a joke really fast. Like that's my responsibility, right? I mean, I feel
Hmm.
like it is. I
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
bleak. The world is bleak. We're burning. And the world is
Yeah.
burning, okay?
Yeah.
It's it's an elective and if an entire organization that I've dealt with my whole life is making me feel like shit
Hmm.
about just like being present here and commentating.
Hmm.
Yeah, year off. Really refreshing. No
Yeah.
regrets.
The White Sox weren't even not in any way to make light or suggest you can compromise these feelings, but they weren't even making it hard to shut the door. I mean, you have
Yeah.
teams that are hideous that sign all the uglies
Mhm.
and they win. And so,
Yep.
I mean, that's a different sort of conflict. And I would still think it would be pretty easy to say, you know what, I think I just need to find another team or do something different because I'm just not really liking the vibe. But winning can really intoxicate. And I mean, there was no intoxication coming from the White Sox, for the balance of this decade. And there's been trouble for more of this decade than not because we can extend past Clevenger and you've got Tony La Russa hire, which of course you and I have covered and you alone have covered in many different ways. I mean, this
I
isn't the
love
only
Tony La
problematic
Russa.
decision.
Have you ever read
Yeah.
the book, Three Nights in August? Oh my God, he's so cool.
If that's where it stopped, then we'd be all right. But that's not where it stopped, and he's still lurking. He's still rattling the chain
He
somewhere
is
in
a
that
corpse.
attic.
He is an animated corpse.
Yeah.
He lives in my building.
Yeah, there you go. Right. He will be one day be buried on your beach. Uh Yeah. Um, that was even something I was going to try to just throw into this podcast because my maybe in the second half as we take a break. In the second half, we'll discuss some of your multimedia work, but I think stand out among it's hard to pick a favorite, but certainly the Tony La Russa rain delay interview that ended in technical difficulties because Tony could not grow beyond mumbling through an interview, which was actually, I think that was real footage. I got a sense at first when I watched it, this was you playing Tony, but when I've
Mm-mm.
watched it repeated times, no, that was actual
It
file
was
footage
him.
that you just inserted yourself into because, yeah, particularly
Yeah,
the
it was
beer
him.
chug,
It was hard to
particularly
get
that.
into the locker room that looks exactly
Yeah,
like my home
right,
office. It was
right,
it's what
right.
happened was I had fashioned my home office after in a part of a secret part of the locker room that no one's
And
seen before.
what made it legit is the dog in the background. We know Tony is an animal rights guy. He is pet rehab and so forth, rehoming. So that's what sold me. When I saw the dog running through the door into the hallway and even barking, I said, well, of course that's the La Russa household or environs because that's Tony's thing. So
Yes, the Ruby English Toy Spaniel, which I think there's only 300 of in the US for
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
is that was absolutely that
yeah.
was
He's got the scratch for like five or six of those. Come on. It's La
uh
Russa.
you'd be surprised how inexpensive anyway, it
Okay.
was revealed to me by the sentient campfire milkshake. So I didn't I can't reveal the
That's
location of
true.
the secret. Yeah, I can't.
That's true. That's true. You can't even get legit trans fats figures on the campfire milkshake. So Lord knows you're not going to get any source material from the
Mhm.
campfire milkshake. As the fog rolls in, I mean, we know we are working against it because at some point Billick will disappear. And we don't mean in the sabbatical or, oh my God, look who they signed way. No, we mean in the physical manifestation of Billick. She will disappear at some point soon. We're going to take our quick break now. I'm gonna send her another
One day I'm
link
gonna
and
die. Let's take a break.
okay, yeah, right. Given the pending doom, let's take a break and see if we can get Billick back for a second half where we might even have to dig into the 2026 team, or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just talk about the fog and beach burials. But either way, we will be back after a minute or two. Please listen to what Fans First Sports Network has to tell you. I'm sure it's quality products. And by listening to that, you will be helping us here at Sox Populi. Take care. We'll see you in about a minute. Why, hello, White Sox fans. My name is Brett Ballantini, lucky enough to host Mothership Podcast for Sox Populi 206. We are re-meeting the players. It's an unprecedented um, extension of our Meet the Players podcasting, which we've done with many people, including Billick, low those nearly 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago, podcast number 62. Look it up. Incredible listen. You'll learn all the different ways that Billick hates the Chicago Cubs, and none of them have changed. We know none of them have changed. In fact, the reasons have probably only increased. Billick has re-graced our pages as of April 9, an explanation of, well, we'll just call it a sabbatical. I won't move my glasses down my nose and peer down at her for that. The break was necessary, and any disappointment I ever had in not getting to read and see and talk to Billick for the last year or so is completely dwarfed by the absolute joy I have in her being back around and bringing levity and proper analysis to the 2020s Chicago White Sox, as she has been doing for us for 5 years or so. She's back to do a little bit more of that, perhaps not in the stressful and debilitating and just downright depressing form of game recap coverage. It can put anyone in the hospital. That said, I'm sure we will be getting different sorts of submissions. Oh, I don't know, could be audiovisual, could be comedic, could be serious, could be clandestine, because after all, she's now Spy Dillick. So Spy Billick or Spy
Billick.
Dillick. I like to call her Spy Dillick when I think about it. So I've finally come up with her nickname. Let me write that one down. Okay, well, Spy Billick apparently also part of her agenda is to potentially just take over the whole show. Take over, and I mean take over South Side Sox. For these purposes, taking over the podcast. Apparently, she's got more notes than me. So, um, Dillick, the mic is now yours.
Hi, Brett. I'm Spy Dillick here with myself and my fog. And I would like to know,
Okay.
do you think that Sam Antonacci is going to this year find himself in a leadoff position? Just based on the 2 times we've seen him and all of the things that we have from AAA.
Uh, yes, he's been nothing but nails since he became a professional. He's had one full season as a professional, for goodness sake. He's in the major leagues. But really, let me take the stuffing out of that answer and just say everyone on this team gets their shot at leadoff. So of course it's only a matter of time before he does. If you're batting Andrew Benintendi leadoff, if you're batting Miguel Vargas leadoff, Mune, I'm sure is just like a couple games away from batting leadoff if he hasn't already. I don't hear pro tip. I don't pay that close attention to every game. So, I don't even know, but yeah, absolutely. Probably Friday's game, probably. So yes, absolutely. But in more seriousness, yeah, it's merited. It's not just because he's the best offensive player on the team based on having been here only 2 games because everyone else just steps back and he's left there standing. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm leadoff. I'm the best. I'm the best hitter on the team, but he's pretty close to that, especially with Montgomery slumping. So, yeah, absolutely, and well deserved. You need the Mydrothian scrappers, and he's another one of those. Perhaps with a ceiling, maybe even greater than Chase Mydroth, but we need guys who looks like the game matters to them and are willing to kick and scratch and bite to get on base and score. So Antonacci seems like quite the dirtbag, and I mean it only in the nicest sense. So I think we need a few of those guys because there's an awful lot of shoegazing and shuffling the shoes and adjusting the uniform going on for a team that is, oh yes, 6-13 to get off to
Mm,
this terrific 2026 season where we're going to win like 70 games or 80. So
Thanks for reminding me of the of that
yes,
for the
it
third time
hovers
today.
menacingly as that fog behind you. I would dare say maybe even more so.
Okay, great. Great answer. Okay, so scrappy, dirty, my droth, yes. Okay, so my droth, yes. We agree that it's great to have him on the team probably until his spirit leaves his body and he becomes another White Sox drone who
Mhm.
inevitably just stops trying, I guess.
Mm,
I don't know if that's gonna happen again
mm.
this year. Out of, and you may say my droth, Murakami, and Antonacci, maybe. You may also say Tanner Murray, but who would you put in the top three? Batting order. Like who would be your three? Your leadoffs.
God, this is like choose death or choose otherwise.
No, no. So if I took a needle and I
Okay,
injected you with just pure optimism, let's just
okay,
say that everything works out the way that they're saying it's gonna work out. It's not.
yeah.
But let's just say that it is. Who's your leadoff? And then you know what? Bonus
Mm,
question: who's in your four spot? Who's in your
oh
cleanup?
God. Um, God, this is really challenging because you're letting also 2026 creep in to perhaps sway based on what you've seen, which has been basically awful for everyone. Um, I'm still, God, there's no way for this not to haunt me, because these are all wrong answers. So let me make it clear, these are all wrong answers. But among my top four, Vargas has got to be there. I don't know if I'm batting leadoff. He might be my two because he sometimes makes contact or something. Murakami, despite all the Ks, he's got to be up there because there's no one else. I he's probably my three. Uh, Lead off. I mean, I don't know if I would do some. I'm not the biggest handedness guy, but yeah, okay. I'd say it'd be Mydroth or Antonacci up top, which is unbelievable that the guy we brought up 2 games ago now is our leadoff hitter and like our best offensive player. Colson has power, and I'm really not sure much else. So let's make him clean up. So there's
Yep,
my four, and I want to throw myself under a bus after saying it, but that's the best answer I can come up with. You have
that's a great
differences?
answer
Mm.
because
Well, so
like
White Sox, it's not that great, but that said,
no, it
yes.
is. Like, look who you're working with. Like, look who you're working. Have you seen the batting averages? Like,
Wait, I
I've
forgot
been.
Benintendi. He's got 2 triples. He's got wheels. Oh, he's got to make his way up into the top four. No, he should not be on the team. But yeah, I mean, with what we're working
I will
with.
just projectile vomited onto my phone camera, just so you know.
Okay, well, that's the reaction I want to get out of you for some of these exhortations. So yeah,
Okay, that was a great answer. All right, so
okay,
I'm not going to answer that question, but I will answer this next one, which you will also
okay,
answer.
okay.
Who in not in our division, but in the American League? Who in the American League, if you could take any player from another team in the American League, but like we have to pay for them. So reasonably, like obviously we're not going to get like, who you want. But if you think about it, who would you want to be on the White Sox?
So wait,
Position,
I
position,
can't
not pitcher.
just okay, and I can't trade the farm to get the guy. There's some limit where I can't get like a legit MVP candidate. I
Yeah,
can't get
you can't get
anybody.
Otani. You can't get Otani. No, Otani's
Well,
not
it's
going to come
funny.
here.
It's funny, rarely do even though we are a family and we're all very close among the 30 SPN baseball sites, rarely do we do any cross promotion and pretend like any of the other sites exist. The Toronto Blue Jays of all teams are the ones that have consistently reached out to me to say, "Hey, I've got 5 questions." And one of the questions was, could you pick if you could pick anyone in the division to trade with, what player would you try to get from the division? And of course, I had the White Sox selling the farm of the unknowns because I don't care about the farm. I'm sorry if that's a little bit too much Ken Williams, but okay, so I'm afflicted. I didn't play football at Stanford, but I guess it's a part of our brains have melded. I don't care about the farm. I don't care about prospects. So I traded for Bobby Witt. But I mean, obviously, you're not
Yes,
letting me trade for Bobby Witt
Bobby
Jr.
Witt Jr. That's
Oh,
mine.
okay.
Bobby
Okay.
Witt,
Well,
Bobby Witt Jr. Man, he's so
yeah.
good. I hate it. I hate
Yeah.
it. I've been saying this for years.
Yeah. I mean, I
That's
can't
a
even really
good
make
answer.
fun of I can't make fun of the Bobby Baseball nickname even because it's like, all right, well, if somebody's going to have a goofy Heartland name like that, I mean, it's a guy who is, probably the leading MVP candidate. I mean, Aaron
Yep.
Judge, of course, but in
Mhm.
terms of like a player, I know it doesn't make sense. How can Judge's WAR be so high if he can't field her? Well, yeah, I guess he just hits that much better than anybody else. But that said, yes, being younger, being not injury prone at all, or certainly less so, yes, it would be Bobby Witt Jr. And I would trade. I
And
think with Toronto, I told them I was trading Schultz, Smith, Montgomery. I mean, I was certainly willing to trade. Like, obviously they were there. I mean, it's the Royals. Lord knows that this guy ain't going to come around anytime
yep.
soon again. So we would have to pretty much sell it all. And it's like, okay, yes, we have 800 shortstops in the system now. Okay, how about I take the one who's already like the best player in baseball? I think I'll
Yep.
opt for that and just say, okay, you'll have to play right field. Or Sam Antonacci, sorry, you're playing left field now because you're not Bobby Witt Jr. And he'd say, hey, you know what? I'm not. Yeah, I'll play left field. Let me grab my glove. So yeah,
Um,
I guess there's not a whole lot to interact here if you're also choosing Witt, but
well, you bring up a good point about Antonacci and putting him in left field. So I made this like really hot take statement in my return celebration article, and it was I really do think that Miguel Vargas can like fall into a groove. I think this might be his year if he gets some offensive support. Obviously, we're playing with like a mental game here. You're on the White Sox, so you have that going for you. It
yeah.
just works against everything. So it doesn't matter where you are in the batting order. You're always like I feel like there's always a black cloud. Now Antonacci
Mhm.
should be put absolutely anywhere. And like, I don't know, I think we should try to keep Vargas happy. The, like, I don't know, if we end up with like 25 third basemen by the end of the year, fine. But
Yeah.
like Antonacci, like you can learn to, play other
Yeah.
positions. I think, I'm putting my coin purse on Vargas having
Okay.
a better year this year. That's all I'm going to
Okay.
say because like
All
you
right.
need support.
Let me briefly then reassume control of the podcast and press you as to what about Vargas do you see or sense that tells you that he did have, I mean, relatively speaking for this team, he had uh Colson and that whatever that was, because I don't think we're going to see it again, whatever that was, that aside, he was the best offensive player on the team while juggling between corner positions. So admirable and essentially an average major leaguer. I think his WAR essentially said that. You
Mhm.
think there's more ceiling there, or just it's a matter of the rest of the team being flushed down the toilet or flushing themselves down the toilet, and he'll stand around like because right now it's him and Colson. I think they're about the only two above water in the early going here with WAR. So he's picked up basically what it was last year, and you're just like, okay, I want production from somebody.
Yep. So I based this since I wasn't around last year at
Mhm.
all.
Right.
Not a I didn't watch a full game
Oof.
ever.
You were
And
being
like
productive. Now you've
it's
embraced a lack of productivity, so welcome back, but you were productive. Right. I can't blame you.
it's crazy that I was though. The Do you remember? I believe it was 2024. Vargas becoming a meme.
Yes, in
Like,
the dugout.
do
He
you
wanted to
remember
die.
this? He was
Yes,
he was so
absolutely.
oppressed by something that we couldn't see,
Yes.
like physically, except for, the team being the worst team of all time. He was downtrodden. It was palpable how upset he
Yes.
was. He was like activated just at all times. And I don't see that anymore. And I didn't watch him last year. It's I know it's early, but that those looks are gone. He looks really focused. He looks locked in. And again, it's the mental game of I'm on the White Sox. He had to go through those to the 2024 time. Like anyone who had to go through that,
Mhm.
I don't know how they're still on the team. So I give him credit for that. Not like I don't know. I just
Yeah.
ugh.
That's how
It's wishful
powerful,
thinking.
that's how powerful that 2024 team was. He was with the team for 2 months and it really nearly killed him. He
Yeah.
was almost dead. I mean, whether we're talking about actual physical death, mental, emotional, uh, maybe pursuing other professions, whatever it was going to be, he was staring, he was absolutely staring into that. I mean, going from the Dodgers to the White Sox would tend to do that for anybody. It could be a broadcaster or a ticket sales a
Yeah.
person, and it would do it to you. But yeah, that was yeah. I mean, he's still, and and because it's Getz, and that's his deal. That's really what seems like maybe going to be the only return from that trade. And okay, no big deal, I suppose. Eric Fetty and Michael Kopech, okay, so what? But he's going to get his typical White Sox like 1,800 at bats. I mean, he's going to have all the rope in the world to prove that he's not a major leaguer. So it's not going to be a matter of lack of opportunity. He is going to have maybe even more than enough chances. Some might even say he's already had more than enough chances. He's going to have more than enough chances because Getz has to make this trade work somehow.
Getting the scratchy itches. The to Andrew Benintendi, like I know what I think about him. Tell me what you think about him.
Well, besides, I mean, the tired part. Well, I love to see him with Tomato. If that answers your question at all, I mean that was heartening. There's a reason why that was selected from the deep deep archives of South Side Sox to be pulled out as art for your return piece. Besides the embarrassment, because it's almost not fair. Oh, well, he's their highest, paid signee ever. Okay, that's not his fault. Whatever. It's the White Sox being ridiculous, his fault. But
Mhm.
this is also something, I mean, the notion that we veered so close. Well, we didn't veer close at all to Brian Harper, but theoretically, we could have.
Mhm.
Absolutely. We were so close, apparently. I know the story is now that he was just using the White Sox to Manny Machado, close to Zach Wheeler. And technically, I guess no one even disputes, offered the most money for Zach Wheeler. So it's not as if some of this isn't bad luck for the White Sox, but there's absolutely no reason why that deal isn't an as in a normal deal, isn't an average deal for, because that's what it is. I mean, okay, I guess it's a little more than that. He's getting paid $18 million or whatever it is, but um, the money shouldn't even be an issue. The point is, he should not be the highest paid player on this team. Especially now that we don't even have Luis Robert to say, okay, well, there's one guy getting paid a little bit more money. Um, it's not his fault, but of course he's also an abysmal player with he could not play the outfield. I mean, he was touted as the guy who would won a Gold Glove, which is great if a key part of the Gold Glove isn't actually doing something with the ball once it's in your glove, because that's really where things run into. I can say with comments, I know this becomes just a real hubris when you're like, I can do something better than a major leaguer. I'm telling you right now, in mid left field with any kind of warm up at all, and I'm not exactly close to my jock days, could throw the ball into the infield or hit the pitcher as the cutoff man, which is something that Andrew does on a good day. I'm not sure he does it all. On a good day, maybe. I know when he makes a throw that's not like, what is that little league nonsense? It's like, what happened here? Is that a different, did he get subbed out? Um, and I mean, that's okay, big deal. That's sort of key. I mean, I know it's left field, but it's sort of key. And just from an embarrassment standpoint, and he was making those throws before he came to the White Sox. So the notion that it was doled out for him, I mean, this is a very long-winded answer in saying what in the world is Andrew Benintendi on this team in the first place and still on this team. And I still hold out this strange hope that they are actually, my prediction has been when they bring up Braden Montgomery, that's going to be coupled with we are finally cutting Benintendi and we're giving him 18 million plus whatever, plus four more for the rest of this year, go away. Now, granted, at the current pace, which I won't name because it's gotten you depressed and the fog's only rolling in, but at the current pace, I'm not sure why you'd be playing for anything but, well, let's just roll it out, roll the bag of balls out there for 2020. Oh, sorry, 2028 and see what happens. So, yeah, I guess they wouldn't feel necessarily compelled. They're not going to be playing for anything. I think we can make that
Right.
prediction without getting too depressed. So yeah, my prediction I think is already shot, but that was my closest to like sniffing the fumes about how great this team is going to be this year. That some things would happen actually with the front office that made the White Sox seem more like a real baseball team. And certainly getting Andrew Benintendi off it, um, would be that. But he's already playing poorly enough that there's nothing that people are going to say, hey, well, you could use that guy
Yeah.
under any circumstances.
The thing is, he the he doesn't give a shit. Like it's very obvious that he doesn't give a shit. Kind of like you said that, like why can he do stuff when he was not on the White Sox and now he's on
Yeah.
the White Sox, and it's almost like he is purposely just phoning it in. It's like when you join the board in your vintage high rise with all of your octogenarian neighbors and you're trying to do nice things and you're doing it and you just hate it and then you're just phoning it in. That's what the vibes remind me of is I have my money, or I have what I came for, and now I'm just going to subsist and exist in this role, and I'm not going to do anything that puts me out of my comfort zone. And like he can argue like, oh, I'm just trying not to get injured, I'm trying to retain my health. It's like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
remember when White Sox players were told not to run hard to first base because of injury?
Yeah.
That was cool. It's funny though, a guy with Andrew Benintendi's complexion doesn't usually get that accusation. It's just funny sort of how the world still works, but they don't usually get that type of might be dogging it or saving it. You know what he's probably saving it for? We haven't figured this out. He's saving
The
it for
World Series.
October. They need him for that push. So, all right. Well, yeah, I might have to go back to that art and erase the tomatoes because he's
Sorry,
a
why didn't
handsome
I think
fella.
of that?
Yeah, it's
October.
that gear. He's just this team die. What are we doing? This is a podcast about this team. Yeah. Um,
We're here.
yeah.
We're here. All right.
Okay.
Uh oh,
Okay.
a couple more things. Thing number one,
Please.
I am new to challenges.
Okay.
This challenge system has not been implemented until I don't know when it was. I don't know when it was implemented because I stopped watching baseball
Yes.
completely. Is
Yes.
this year or was this last year? I didn't even
No.
look it up. I was like, oh, let's ask Brett.
This was this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. As the fountain of knowledge I am, I can tell you that it's affirmative. It is this year. That's the type of knowledge I'm going to be able to share with you, Di, that I can confirm that this new system is indeed a new system. And yeah, I
So
mean,
implemented because of Angel Hernandez, maybe, or because of everyone sucking absolute balls. And like, how many challenges did we win today? Three in like a single inning, or what?
yeah,
Uh, two and one single at that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. How can they be that? How can they be that bad at their jobs?
yeah.
What?
Yeah, Carroll's a gambler. Although, it's funny, I did see some stat, I can't cite it because I'm not that smart, but it indicated that the amount of, I mean, of course, CB Buckner aside, because he throws all the numbers off, but and if Angel was, alive to be participating in this, of course, he'd throw the whole mean or whatever off. But that batters guessing, batters challenging are getting it wrong roughly as much as umpires are getting it wrong. And I think the conclusion was, well, everybody's human, which is interesting. It still is no excuse not to get them right. And I think that's what this system does and does it pretty quickly with like this little mini drama where you see the pitcher have to turn around and look at the scoreboard. It's sort of funny and it comes quickly enough that it certainly doesn't bother me at all. But that little thing, and I mean, small sample size, but it'd be interesting to see if it plays out where batters change. And I don't know if catchers were looped into that as well, if just
Yeah,
everybody
they were.
gets a certain number wrong. But that's
Mm-hmm.
interesting to me that that really it's not the it's not the umps fault. And there've been some pretty. I mean, I know Carroll's had at least one that's just like, wow, you challenge that. But I mean, that's going to happen too. but it seems like he's been appropriately aggressive. If he could be as aggressive and skilled at actually stopping baseballs thrown at him and thrown to him covering home plate, I think we're in good shape because he's really good at throwing that ball and hitting guys in the head or nailing them, getting them out, and the challenges. So that's two key factors in the game. Just
Very
the
important.
one the one you'd think he would have grown up doing as a all-time, all life catcher. He's not doing so well at, and he's a guy I thought he was the defensive catcher, and
Yep.
Kyle Teal was the guy who was going to play somewhere else because he doesn't really have much business aside from having a great attitude and chucking hell out of the ball as well. But I'm really not even certain that Caro is any better than Teal. And Teal had, I believe, you weren't here for it, about 800 pass balls last year. So I mean, he was demonstrated not very demonstrably not very skilled behind the plate. And Caro, in his absence, I don't know if it's just like out of solidarity. Hey, Kyle, I'm not going to get too far ahead of you, but I
No
think when
way.
we look at our two great catchers, I'm wondering now if we just have two maybe great players, maybe who aren't catchers, and we're going to need more catchers. I don't even know.
Teal I think that he was practicing today. So that's good news. And
Yeah.
that's my only good news that I have.
Yes,
So
we need his bat. Play him somewhere. Play him shortstop. Have him pitch. We need him to hit.
do something, do something. Um, man, I am, despite all the stuff, I'm glad to be back because you guys are awesome and I had a lot of fun being here. And the not being on game coverage, I'm way busier this season than I was in previous seasons. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't be able to do game coverage anyway, given the schedule that I give myself, because I have to. It's my fault. I'm the boss, and the boss says no. But
So you're not
I'm
fully
still.
embracing a lack of productivity.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
not right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
All
I'm
right.
still watching the games, and
Mm.
I have not watched every single game because I've had stuff to do, but I've watched most of them, which is a huge departure from last year of not seeing any of them, and it was weird. I do have to tell you though, uh, that's the bridge and the segue that I was going to. The
Hmm.
challenge is so like in my year off, I did watch a lot of football. I got NFL Sunday ticket. I watched like every football game. Teams I don't give a shit about. I watched them. I
Hmm.
was like, this is the best. It was filling the baseball hole.
Hmm.
But I remember thinking, man, these challenges. I wish we could have challenges for baseball, bad calls, like, actual, like balls and strikes. You can't argue balls and strikes, blah, blah, blah,
Hmm.
all this drama. I'm like, I wouldn't want that because it would take too long. It would feel so, it would just feel like just oppressive and like it could be, I guess, mm, uh, used as a manipulation tool. If they need a break, challenge a pitch. But like it's so fast. Like you said, it's
Yeah.
so fast. It takes like 3 seconds to review a challenge on balls and strikes, and I am obsessed with it. I
Hmm.
love it because how mad? It's just baseball, yeah, but like I would get so mad at those blown calls. I like may as well be Hawk Harrelson,
Hmm.
like steam coming out of my ears because the betting scandal stuff in the other sports. And that's why. And then the Astros situation. And it's just like
Hmm.
you're, as fans, we're putting so much time and energy. And like it is actually a commitment to be a fan of a team. And like no one is over your shoulder being like, you're a bandwagon fan. You don't
Right.
watch the game, like no one cares what you do, right? If they do, you shouldn't talk to this person. It's weird. But like it is still like it's a personal commitment. It's an emotional
Hmm.
commitment. It's an intellectual commitment. You are watching games and stats are being stored
Yeah.
in your brain where things that you used to know.
Yeah.
I mean, like
More.
you're losing smarts and memory. Like you forgot your neighbor's name because you
Hmm.
watched baseball this
Yeah,
year.
that goes for
But
even
like
if you're following the Dodgers, much less. I mean, the Sox, we know why, but any team because it's too
exactly.
much.
Yeah, it takes up mental energy and it takes up mental space. You get invested whether you want to or not if you care about a team. So balls and strikes, it seems myopic, it seems petty, but it really isn't when it comes down to it. And there's nothing more just like something that another segue, something that I just can't stand now. And as an actor, it's psychotic how many calls we get for betting apps and like, betting commercials. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I obviously would do one, and I've done all the auditions because uh that's my job. I mean, like I have turned down, like the Republican the commercials, like I've turned those down. One
You
time I
did.
didn't, and I was like, what?
Shout back to podcast 62 and the very challenging discussion of your husband getting the Cubs commercial and you having a dilemma about even reading for it and you
Yep,
depicting your agent and her voice and telling you that you've got to try out for it, she doesn't understand. So,
yep,
it's all coming full circle because yeah, I mean the money's yeah, we get a little extra scratch from putting a fan, whatever, I'm not going to name them, but whatever, what one of them,
yeah.
because they pay us a little extra money to do it. So
And they
I
should,
would,
because they're like, that stuff can be predatory. I don't bet. Okay, I did like $10 in like the final four or whatever. But like I don't
and we know how
I
that
feel like,
went.
listen, I have a kitchen habit that I'm trying to support with quartzite. Very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Mm-hmm.
you seen my gold sink and my I have an automated touchless. Listen, don't knock it till you try it. But I didn't know how much it was, and my friend asked me for the link to one, and I sent it to him, and I was like, we paid this
Mm.
for this dumb thing. I kitchen habit. Anyway, no, I think it's exploitative and it's kind of
Yeah.
predatory. I'm saying this as someone who doesn't gamble, but as someone who knows people who gamble, I'm like, this feels bad. I would still
Mm-hmm.
do it because I'm like a
Mm-hmm.
commercial whore, like
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it. But the
Mm-hmm.
only thing I wouldn't do, the only thing I wouldn't do ever and turn down, and my husband turned it down as well, is this CPAC thing. And then this like, we did the He Gets Us
Mm.
uh things, and I just didn't know what it was. And I went in and I was like, I almost threw up. My skin started burning. It was, and then when I
That's the
see
proper
them,
reaction actually for a human being.
they're so bad. And then I see them and and like uh, Comiscular, they have the He Gets Us like MLB. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're making the
Yeah.
world worse. What are you doing? And like
Yeah.
my dad is like a Catholic, and he's a good Catholic. Like I am anti-theist. My dad is a Catholic. He like prays for people and fucking goes to the soup kitchen and like does like the man has a hard time walking and he's helping other people. Like he actually cares. Like I really respect his faith basically, but I don't respect anyone else's. I mean, like that stuff is.
Yeah.
I'm joking. But I
Yeah.
really don't respect any of that lip service stuff. When you see ads for it, it's so gross. I'm watching baseball. It's like I would rather see an ad for like a pornography website, like at least, or like the gambling. So I would take the gambling over the He Gets Us.
Yeah.
He doesn't get shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't get anything. Anyway,
How long did it take you to recover from that audition?
oh my
Did you
God.
have to, yeah,
I
sleep?
did
That was
like I had to now that I think about it, it's kind of funny, but I had to play the angry mom who like doesn't who's like making the teenagers' life hard.
mm,
I'm 44 and they don't cast me as 44. So I'll put on makeup like Facebook because I don't wear like foundation or cover up or anything, but if you put it on, then it settles into like the fine lines and wrinkles that everyone has and it makes me
mm,
look older. So I like take this makeup on and I'm like, and it's an MOS, which means it's just facial expressions. So the audition was this.
Yep.
I'm like,
Judging you for your beliefs.
I'm judging her. I'm judging my teenager. It was disgusting. It was horrible. It's just anyway. No.
Well, now you know. Next time when the email subject is something gets us, then you'll know I ain't
Now
getting
they
that.
they
So,
haven't done it again. I think because
oh,
they know that when they're trying to cast in this area, it's a little harder. But also we have really low standards because a lot of stuff has moved out of Chicago, so we are getting way less work.
I see.
Um, one more thing I want to ask you.
Okay.
I really want to know and have never asked you directly,
Okay.
but I've asked other people on South Side Sox.
Okay.
Melissa, for one,
Okay.
and she gave me an answer that made me feel guilty, actually. And I was like, oh, am I a bad person?
Okay.
I might be an intolerant person. I guess I
Okay.
just have higher standards for people I listen to. What do you really think about John Schriffen?
I think John Schriffen is and was to begin with out of his depth. I don't understand why someone with his, well, maybe I do, but I don't understand someone with his resume having come in so ill equipped to handle this position. I do love the fact the one good thing I can say about him, whether it's phony or not, I've not met the guy. The man of the people. I understand that can be a shtick too, and that really shouldn't be your number one quality, but I can appreciate that, and I believe he wants to make it work. I just don't. I think he's proven probably in the first week, and definitely now a few years in, that this is just not the fit for him. And maybe it's basketball, maybe it's something, maybe it's news. It's not this. And I'm. I mean, I guess that's probably the best or most I could say about it. I will not miss John Schriffen at all.
Yeah, it's bad. Uh,
Did I
as
make
for
you feel
me,
guilty?
no,
Oh,
no, no,
well,
no.
okay.
Melissa's answer was like, we were just texting about it a couple years ago, and I was like, "Ugh, him.
Hi, Melissa, and I hate Schriffen.
I hate
Oh,
him.
God.
And she said something like, it was very Melissa. She's so sweet and she's so like even tempered, and she's got such a good ability to zoom out and look at things in it, and you look at the whole picture. And
Mhm.
I am not. I go macro and I'm like, he said a word wrong. I have to listen to him. But like
Yeah.
it's more than that. But she was like, said something like, you should give him a break. He's like, maybe he's a little nervous and he's in the hot seat or something along those lines. And I was like, oh, I'm a piece of
Okay.
shit.
No.
Okay.
Penalty box for Melissa Sage Bolenbach now that it's been revealed. Although technically that's not fair because that was private conversation, but I'll make it very clear she gets penalty box time. We have decided to make the second half meet Brett Ballantini, which is an odd choice, but it was a fun one. We are running right against out of time. So Billick, it is absolutely phenomenal to have you back. We look forward to your next words on site, or I don't know, audio visual material. Welcome back. I hope the White Sox don't punish you for coming back.
I sure do hope so as well. But if they do, it's content. It's content.
All
It's
right,
not,
everybody.
it's not content. Me no content.
No, we are not
It's
contento.
content.
No soy contento at all. All
No,
right. We'll see you next.